Hey everyone, we got a tornado warning that's just been issued, and it does include Delaware County. We're about to go live on television as the storm, excuse me, is rapidly moving to the east. There's the tornado warning. It is confirmed there was damage that was reported. You can see the debris signatures showing up as it's just about ready to cross into Delaware County. And as it does, we'll be covering it. But there's a look southwest of Kenwood, west of Bull Hollow, Tag Flats. Those areas should sound familiar because they were impacted, excuse me, on May 26, 2024. But that's the line that's coming in. Notice how it's running northwest to southeast. And so here we go with severe weather coverage. Let me know when you guys are ready. And we will go ahead and do a storm track on this on Weather 1. And we will be covering this as it comes into Northwest Arkansas. So we'll be getting you through the storm, keeping you up to date with the latest. That is the tornado that is confirmed, and it's moving northeast at about 50 miles per hour. So let's go ahead and we'll do the track. Anderson, are you ready? All right, I am ready too as well. So let's go ahead and we'll jump on here. All right, stand by, guys. Hi, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff in the Weather Lab. We've been tracking storms in northeast Oklahoma. Now they are moving into northwest Arkansas soon. We do have a confirmed tornado warning that's moving into Delaware County. It's just about ready to cross this county line into Delaware County. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. We'll start off with Weather 2. Well, Weather 1. Okay, we could go to Mega Doppler here in just a second. There's a look at the tornado warning on Weather 2. And this tornado warning, by the way, is going for the next few minutes. So the tornado warning that's confirmed is going to go until 1:30 in the morning. So we're at 12:56 in the early morning hours, as you can see on the Mega Doppler banner. Here's a look at that tornado warning that's moving east. This is confirmed. I'll show you that damage associated with it, but let's track it first of all. We'll let you know exactly where this storm is headed. So let's go back, if we can, to Weather 1. As it tracks to the east-northeast, this will be moving into the north side of Benton County if it holds together. Type of environment that we have, it's very humid out there. We've been mentioning that severe weather potential. And so this is right now into Delaware County, just about ready to cross. Grab it. Get ready. This storm will be coming into your area at 1:32. Sulphur Springs, 1:36. We could definitely see the amount of lightning. The lightning is a lot more than the previous storm that was moving into southwest Missouri that fell apart and started to weaken. Let's take a look here at some of the reflectivity images. We'll start off with INX, which is the Tulsa radar, and we'll show you on the Tulsa radar that this cell is definitely strengthening as it moves eastward. Pretty strong winds, too. This is going to go back to Weather 2 if we can, and we'll take a look here at the Tulsa radar. So there's the tornado warning. Also, hail up to the size of golf balls. These are pretty intense storms. You got severe thunderstorm warning, too. That's all east of that. That covers Delaware County as well as Adair County. Does not quite include Benton County yet, but that's going to happen pretty soon as these storms are moving eastward pretty quickly at about 50 miles per hour. So there's that tornado warning that goes until 1:30 in the morning. I want to show you the debris signature as we'll take you back in time, and you'll be able to see this area of debris that's showing up right here. There's that correlation coefficient drop. It's kind of on the back side of the line, but this is the type of environment right here where tornadoes can and suddenly will pop up. And so there's that confirmed tornado. Looks like it's not on the ground anymore, as you can see that debris signature that was showing up kind of spreading out a little bit, showing you that that is starting to move off to the east. We got a new tornado warning now that's in effect, and we are streaming this coverage on knwa.com. We're also streaming it on YouTube. Let's take a look here. This is Adair and Cherokee County. So this is a little bit on the south side of the line. Let me go walk over to the weather radio. And this is for Adair County, and that's going to be pushing into it looks like areas of Washington County here, if it holds together. So a lot of storms moving into Northwest Arkansas as expected. We'll be watching it and we'll be keeping you updated. We do our streaming, so go ahead and comment on our Facebook. And I know a lot of people are wondering about additional areas. So let's take a look and go back to Mega Doppler, and we'll kind of look at a detailed analysis of this storm. So let's start you off here with Mega Doppler. There's the tornado warning that's in effect until 1:30. This is a confirmed tornado. If we go back in time, we could show you if that debris signature was showing up, and it sure was, just to the southeast of Salina, moving eastward, and then it kind of started to disappear. So it looks like that tornado has lifted as it approaches Bull Hollow. However, a new tornado warning now that's been issued for the south side of the line. This is by Tahlequah, and that area is going to be coming into southern Adair County. Now, we actually have one of our WeatherBug network cameras where I've been seeing the lightning, and there's a lot of it, and you'll be able to see that from our Lincoln WeatherBug network camera. Definitely a highly electrified storm. You can see the base off in the distance. You can also see that low-level shear as those clouds are streaming in from the south-southwest. And so all of those ingredients holding together to bring the potential for severe weather. Now, I know a lot of you are asking about individual cities and individual locations. That's just the way it is on Facebook Live. People want to know when it's going to hit their location, when they're home. And you'll see that this line will be covering all of Northwest Arkansas. So if you are watching, you will be impacted in the Benton and Washington County area. We got a severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect, and it goes until 4 a.m. But 2 tornado warnings that we're covering right now. One that is a confirmed tornado, or was at least. It doesn't look like it's on the ground anymore. Now we got a new confirmed tornado that just started to pop up, and you can see that is located in Adair County. So let's go ahead and we'll zoom in on that, and we'll take a look at that debris signature for that. And you can see that is just to the west of Eldon. So we'll take a look here at the signature. There it is once again showing up just to the northeast of Tahlequah. It's this area right in here that you'll be able to see that debris signature. And there is the tornado detector showing up. And in fact, there you get to see it right there. White showing up on the screen, which tells you that that tornado is on the ground just to the north of Tahlequah, moving off to the east near Briggs and Eldon. So we still have a tornado on the ground. This is just a little bit west of Adair County. This is Cherokee County. So we're watching all of these areas really, really closely, and that's that tornado detector. So let's go ahead and we'll do a track. Let's go to Weather 1 if we can, and we'll do a storm track on that one cell that's moving into Adair County. Knew this environment was a little bit ripe, and we were concerned about tornado potential. That severe thunderstorm watch was issued not too long ago, and that's going to go until 4 a.m. All right, so let's take a look here at INX, and we'll bring this up with this tornado warning that's in effect. We'll move it off to the east-southeast. This is the track of this cell that will be taking it into Adair County. This is moving pretty quickly too, folks. So as it moves to the east at about 65 miles per hour, I'm going to go ahead and put a 60 miles per hour storm track on it, and we'll take it to the east-southeast. This will be a little bit south of Fayetteville. I'll just take it over time here within the next 50 minutes or so. These are the areas that are going to be impacted by this storm, and you can bring me up on the wall here on Weather 1. So 102, we're at 102 in the morning. Here's 2 parts of the cell. Now, that is not a confirmed tornado anymore. That is the one in Delaware County has been reduced to a tornado radar indicated. But we still have that debris signature that's showing up on live Doppler radar. I'll start plotting some roads for Adair County to tell you exactly where that's headed. But here's some of the areas that are going to be impacted. Dutch Mills, 1:25 a.m. Lincoln at 1:29 a.m. Prairie Grove at 1:35. And so that's going to be making its way towards Lincoln. We've got that WeatherBug network camera pointed straight west. We'll be watching this closely. West Fork at 1:42. Winslow, 1:46 a.m. So 2 tornado warnings that we're watching. Looks like more alerts coming out. And like we said, Weather Lab is going to be busy as we continue to monitor the latest. New severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued. We'll take a look at that when that comes out. And you'll see that probably going to include Benton and Washington County. So let's see here. There's the new severe thunderstorm warning. So you can see that on Weather 1. We'll bring that up on the screen here and take a look. And that's going to be Southwest Missouri, by the way. So new severe thunderstorm warning for Southwest Missouri, including McDonald County. Let's see some of the comments on here. A lot of people asking about Siloam Springs. Of course, we're going to be watching that. This circulation in particular won't be moving quite towards Siloam Springs. Let's get to Mega Doppler if we can, and we're going to do that on Weather 2. Here is a detailed look at that hook. That is very close to Eldon. That's where that circulation is associated with the storm, and that's where that confirmed tornado is. So this is going to be moving towards Christie. Let me go ahead and plot some roads on here to let you know exactly where this tornado is going to be headed. So you'll notice here that we've got East 724 Road, Proctor. There's the debris signature still showing up. So we've got a tornado that is on the ground doing damage just to the north of Briggs. Confirmed tornado northwest of Eldon. This will likely be a rain-wrapped tornado. Let's plot some other additional roads. Just to the west of Christie. This is going to be D4630 Road. You can see that area that's going to be impacted. We're zoomed way in, by the way. Now we got a new severe thunderstorm warning that has a tornado possible tag. We'll pop that up, and then we're going to bring that up on Weather 1 as we take a look here. There's the severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible, and that includes Adair, Benton, Delaware, Washington County. Weather radio is going off like mad, but that's what it's supposed to do, and it's doing its job. So there's a look at that severe thunderstorm warning. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning that's considerable, also tornado possible. So all of these cells are going to have tornado possibles. We have confirmed tornadoes. We got Zach Gilday that just joined the weather lab here on his day off. But we got multiple storms that continue to bring an impact. By the way, if you're new to this area, and I know there are some people that are here for the Bentonville Film Festival that are from out of town, maybe don't experience tornadoes as much. We want to put a little graphic on here for you. This is what you need to do in tornado safety. Get downstairs, under something, center of your house, and keep away from windows. And by the way, just to let you know, if you're in a mobile home, that is not a good place to go. Never stay in a mobile home. You got to leave them for a sturdier structure. If you live in an apartment, try to get to that lowest floor of the apartment. You want to take all these tornado warnings seriously. And man, these tornadoes have ramped up and have developed pretty quickly. If we take a look at where you need to take safety, the basement is the best place, but an interior room, a hallway, a closet, a bathroom that has no outside walls. That is the best place to go for tornado safety and in order to stay safe. Let's do another track on two of these cells. Zach Gilday might be mic'd up here, and we'll get the latest, but we'll take a look here. Some pretty intense storms as tornado warnings continue. So we got a tornado warning until 1:30. This storm is moving east at about 55 miles per hour. So we'll put a track on that according to the latest warning. That's moving east, and that's going to be moving into Benton County. So Benton County is about to get some alerts if it holds together, and that will be moving into northwest Arkansas. At that time, we want to start looking at some cameras here from Lincoln, because we'll probably have a good view of this lowering as it starts to approach with that confirmed tornado. See if we start to see anything, Zach. Boy, what was it like when you came in? A little bit humid out there?
Oh yeah, it sure was humid. It was a little bit breezy. The atmosphere is really primed for these rotating storms, and that circulation really just came out of nowhere. I saw that on the reflectivity, and I was like, oh no, that's going toward warned.
Yeah,
and that's what it did.
And pretty rapidly. And we mentioned how the 0 to 3 kilometer instability, the 0 to 3 kilometer cape, it's definitely there. There's no doubt about that. And these tornadoes have already been confirmed. There's been multiple storms that have confirmed tornadoes. We'll take a detailed look at that. But there's one track, and we'll do this both at the same time. And so if you're wondering about Rogers and about Bentonville and about Bella Vista, if this storm holds together, it will be moving in at about 1:37. We can bring this up full so you can really see those times a little bit better, because it might be sometimes tough to do on your mobile device or on your tablet. And there you see as well that tornado that's confirmed. Now that is moving right now, and we'll take a look at the latest into western Adair County. And this track, by the way, is moving east at 60 miles per hour. So these storms are moving quick. The circulations are ramping up, and the conditions are there for tornadoes to touch down very, very rapidly, Zach. And so there's the track of this one. This is going to be making its way towards Lincoln. And right now, Lincoln at 131. So you have a little bit of time. Dutch Mills, 128. Boy, we've heard these cities a lot.
I know, yeah.
These towns. Yeah. West Fork and Winslow, and that's going to be in the I-49 corridor shortly before 2 a.m. All right, let's go ahead, and we're going to go to Mega Doppler on Weather 2. Zach, I'm going to let you take control of it, but let's take a look at a detailed view of this cell. Remember, Mega Doppler is a really good description and really good image of the rotation in this cell. So first of all, here's the line. This is going to be the most dangerous portion of the line. River Valley, anything that's running from east to west, not as favorable for tornadoes. This is what we call cold pool dominant. But where it's balanced, right here, where the line runs more north to south, that's where you have that tornado potential. Let's go ahead and we'll zoom in here on the storm that's approaching Adair County. Let's look at the velocity signature. We'll set that storm motion from the warning, and there you see the rotation right there that's associated with it as it moves to the east. So there's that circulation. Let's see if it's on the ground anymore as we look at the correlation coefficient. And so the correlation coefficient will show you that there's no more debris signature that's showing up. But if we go back in time, you will definitely notice that it was in place. There it is right there associated with the back edge of the circulation. Now, when we look at the velocity at the same time, it's got to be co-located with that debris signature, and there it is. So rapid winds moving towards the radar, moving away. There's your circulation that passed just to the north of Briggs and Eldon, and now is moving currently into western Adair County. So that's a detailed look at that cell. Let's go back up to the north and look at the other tornado warning. There's the circulation associated with that. We're going to be watching that closely. Let's set the storm motion for warning. You'll see a little bit of velocity change, but there is that rotation where the radar winds are going away from the radar and towards the radar. And so let me kind of show you here as we map this out. So red moving away from the radar, green moving towards the radar. There is your circulation associated with it. Let's go ahead and plot some roads. And at the same time, I want to bring up our Decatur WeatherBug Network camera, and then we'll go back to Mega Doppler. So here's Decatur. This is looking due west. We'll probably start seeing a lot of lightning and even the base of that thunderstorm off in the distance. So this is going to be our eyes and ears out in the field. I'm going to start recording some of these cameras just so we have a view of this line when it's coming in. And Lincoln, you can really see that lowering starting to approach. I don't see anything like on the ground at the moment, so maybe that storm has lifted, but nevertheless, pretty impressive a base that's moving in from the west.
And I do want to mention that storm motion of that storm up in Delaware County might be a bit more favorable, because I was looking at the wind shear vectors. So we are going to have to watch that northern storm.
Yeah, anything that moves more east, northeast, or northeast, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, so we'll bring that up. We'll look at the Siloam Springs camera. I'll start recording that as well. And so these are our, here it is at night again, early morning hours, totally dark, except for lightning strikes. So we'll zoom in a little bit on Mega Doppler, and then we'll get a view of those roads that are plotted. So we get kind of hyper local to let you know what we're expecting. So here we go on the leading edge of that line, just now starting to approach Decatur. This is a radar indicated tornado. It's about to move out of the warning and into western and northwestern Benton County. So again, these cells are moving quick. So you want to make sure you take action if you are going to be under a tornado warning. There is that rotation that's associated with it. This is looking at Maysville and State Highway 102. You can see Gravette, Highway 59, of course. And here you see it looks like as it's moving east to Sycamore near Maysville. So that's where that circulation is, just to the southwest of Maysville as it moves to the east. Our Gravette WeatherBug Network camera is down, unfortunately. But again, we got that view from Decatur, and that lowering if it is any, would be off in the distance. A little bit out of focus on that camera. We'll try to adjust that as we take a look at the latest. So, Zach, man, these storms ramped up quick. There is no doubt about that.
And they did drop that warning up in Delaware County, by the way.
Okay, good deal. So that's a good sign right there. So
yeah,
dropping that warning. We still have that confirmed tornado, probably going to be just radar indicated here shortly. That's moving into Adair County, but still has a little bit of a circulation associated with it that we have to watch, looking southwest of Lincoln. So
yeah, it sure does.
We'll be able to get a view there.
And I think the storm might have sped up a little bit. I think it's maybe at 65 miles per hour.
Man, that is cooking. That is fast.
Yeah.
That also tells you, that doesn't give you a lot of time to react. You know, if you are under a warning, these storms are moving a lot faster than some of the previous storms that we've had in this area.
Yeah, and not only do we have the tornado threat, we had that straight line wind threat. So pretty much the whole county of Washington County is under that severe storm warning.
Yeah, that's a good point. And straight line winds, especially with the soggy ground conditions, can cause some issues, knock down trees, knock down power lines, and damaging wind potential is definitely high. That's one of the things that we were kind of looking at. But I was thinking that tornado threat was not zero today. You know, it just wasn't. So we'll take a look here at Lincoln, and here's that WeatherBug network camera. And so that base is associated with the lowering is just off to the west. You can see how well defined that is. I don't see any enhanced lowerings with it, but this would give us the best view if there's any tornado touching down at the moment. But we'll go back to the radar, of course. We'll continue to look at this kind of back and forth. We've got it recording so we don't miss anything with this cell. But that's our Lincoln WeatherBug network camera. Thanks to PG Telco and that tower. Gotta love that view in southwest Washington County. Has come in so clutch so many times with severe weather this season. And here we are in the middle of June, Zach. We're approaching the summer solstice.
Yep.
And it feels like it's still spring out there. And there's a lot of jet stream energy too, which is atypical and unusual of this time of the year. So,
yeah. Hey, Dan, we got Josh on I-49.
Yeah. Oh, is he streaming?
He's asking if we want him to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and we'll do that. And we could bring him up. And is he on the phoner line? Or are we just is he just texting?
He just texted me. I'm not sure what he wants to do. But they did drop that confirmed tag for that storm that's in Adair County.
Okay.
Which is good. It seemed that rotation seems to be weakening a little bit, but I still don't like that look. Yeah. Because we can see there is that little bulge in that line, and on the part that it's kind of oriented to the northeast, that's really where we have to watch out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to bring the Lincoln camera up full. And when I do that here, we'll be able to look at that and the radar at the same time. So something that we'll continue to look at. So got a lot of cameras and a lot of views, you know, in the early morning hours. And just to keep you safe, to let you know what's headed our way and what we're expecting. And this is sometimes some of the best views. You know, radar is great, but it's even better to get that visual near the ground because the radar beam can be high up sometimes. But like you said, still has that look, could ramp up its rotation and circulation pretty quickly. But hopefully these storms will start to weaken as they move in. Maybe not the case, but we're hoping for that. So there's the bow echo that's coming in. This is going to be a pretty intense line of storms that moves into northwest Arkansas. We've got our Decatur WeatherBug network camera looking off to the west. You can see the wind starting to pick up with the trees. We'll see some occasional lightning with that as well. Here is a look at what we've got looking west from Siloam Springs. Siloam Springs is going to be at Allen Elementary. You can see the wind already picking up there. A lot of lightning. So, yeah, you're waking up again. Here's another early morning rude awakening. Once again, Zach, you probably see the lightning off of the distance when you were coming in as well. Let's take a look here at the Bentonville Junior High School from Fulbright. So Fulbright Junior High, there you can see the lightning off in the distance. So some of our cameras. And then finally, we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at Mega Doppler with the Lincoln camera. So there it is. There's that tornado warning. There's the base of the thunderstorm off of the distance on Heil Heating Cooling Mega Doppler. That tornado warning goes a little bit longer. And then once that tornado warning gets dropped, we're just going to stay on these storms because the way that they can ramp up and produce tornadoes like we saw and even confirmed tornadoes, we've got to watch it closely. In fact, there's a little bit of a reflectivity nub right on the north side of Stillwell, Zach, that we've got to watch. And so there it is. Once again, another circulation that's ramping up. Let's see where that is. Kind of pan a little bit to the east. So that would take that. There you go. Lincoln. So we're looking west southwest. So here is that weather camera. Let's bring up weather 3 in the control room. Bring it up full. So there's a look at west southwest. If there's any type of lowering, it would be associated with this area right in here. In fact, you can almost see that's the wall cloud associated with the storm. We'll see if there's any type of lightning. Look at how it's reflecting off the city lights. And there's that storm that's moving in. And so we can see the anvil of the storm spreading out over the area. But we'll continue to watch that because it looks like that circulation is starting to kick back in. And that would be a mesocyclone that you see off in the distance. You see that, Zach?
Yeah.
Kind of a smooth edge appearance right there.
We just got the latest scan. It looks a bit tighter. So just by Barron in Adair County. And I do want to mention for control back there, we have Josh on live view 2.
Okay.
So that's what he's going to be doing.
So there's Josh Rugger right there. And so shot froze, but that's okay. He's on his way into the weather lab to be covering. Yeah, there's Josh right there traveling southbound on I-49. I know exactly where that is. That's exit 84 as he gets pretty close to, or 86, excuse me. Now he's going to be approaching exit 85. Not a lot of lightning looking straight south, obviously. Let's go back if we can to Mega Doppler because I think we got a developing tornado, Zach. And there you see that circulation that's associated with the storm just to the west of Barron. And that is just west of Lincoln. So that is going to be approaching pretty quickly, as we mentioned. That could prompt a new tornado warning, which would be for Washington County. There it is. Speaking of that.
Yep.
And this, by the way, I think is going to include Washington County, Lincoln, Summers. Yeah, we'll take a look here as it pops up. There you go. New tornado warning that's issued for Washington County. Let me go ahead, take off all the warning information. We'll start off, though, Wednesday, 1:45 a.m., There's your tornado warning. That's how long it goes till. So a pretty short fuse, 25-minute tornado warning. And then we got the severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible. Let's take all the radar information off of there, all the warning information. Let's show you who is included in this warning. It does not include the city of Fayetteville or Farmington because this rotation will be on the south side of that. But it does include Lincoln. If you live in Lincoln, take your tornado precautions. Get into your safe place. Get as low as you possibly can. Get underneath something, the center of your building, and keep away from windows. Here's a look at tornado safety. We spell out the word duck. You know, Al had, an informative video that he was showing with the kids, and it's great to educate kids. This is an easy way to remember. Get underneath something, use C, center of the house, and K, keep away from windows. So you spell out the word duck. And if you can get underneath the helmet, put your head underneath the helmet, that's a great idea if you live in the Lincoln area, because I do think we're having a developing tornado right here, and that's exactly where that circulation is starting to ramp up. Let's put some streets on there, Zach, and as we do, we'll continue to watch our WeatherBug network camera from Lincoln, which would be that area where the tornado would be developing. So we'll continue to watch that as that squall line and as that line gets a little bit closer. So we got some roads here. We're southwest of Summers. We're zoomed way in. We can also look at that as well. Look at that lowering that's starting to develop, a little bit of a ragged lowering. We'll take a look, a more detailed look at that. But this circulation is starting to really ramp up and increase in intensity and really start to tighten up as well. All right, Zach, let's go to weather 3 and bring that up full real fast. So just to see, this would be where your tornado develops. See those ragged lowerings right there? You can see the way that base is not just perfectly flat. So that tells you there's a lot of rising motion. And as that rising motion takes place, we're getting some condensing of the clouds, which is a sign that you have a pretty strong updraft. I'm going to move that camera over to the left just a little bit. Zach, let's do a track. We haven't done a little track in a while, so we'll continue to monitor this and look to the west-southwest. But yeah, that circulation is definitely picking up.
Yeah, it is. I got that track on weather 1. If we can take that back there. So here's what we are looking at. Tornado warning for Adair in Washington County. And that red polygon, if you live in that polygon, you need to be in your safe place right now. This is a radar indicated rotation, and we can see that movement east at about 50 miles per hour. This warning is in effect until 1:45 a.m. on this Wednesday morning, and the areas are affected. Summers area around 131, Lincoln 135. So if you live in the Lincoln area, you need to be in your safe place right now. This circulation is coming right at you. The Bob Kidd Lake area around 140. Beyond that, Prairie Grove around 143, and then Hawkeye 146. West Fork, you are in this warning as well. Tornado warning. West Fork around 1:51 a.m. Fayetteville Country Club around 1:54, and then Baldwin 1:58, and Harris 2:01 a.m. The storm is moving east at 50 miles per hour, and that's that track. We can see Adair and Washington County are the two counties that are included in this storm, and we do want to zoom in on the storm and show you what's going on here. So here's that rotation.
You got that as well. And I've got on weather 2, Zach, we've got the live Doppler radar. We're zoomed way in. Right here is the reflectivity kind of little nudge that's edging out. That's what we call a reflectivity nub. That's about to move into western Washington County. Summers, and we're zoomed way in. So you can see Wolf Track Road. We also got nice Warner Road, Little Road, Ant Hill Road, and Kirk Lane Road. So those are areas west-southwest of Lincoln that could be impacted from this cell. And again, we're watching this Weather Bug Network camera to see if there's any type of circulation or rotation on the leading edge. The problem is that what we have seen, Zach, is a lot of these circulations are happening behind the line, and they're rain wrapped. So rain wrapped is when you can't see any type of tornado until it's on top of you with rotating rain curtains and other things. So these are dangerous storms to deal with.
Yeah, we can see it strengthening, we can see it weakening. Latest scan might not be as tight, but still, we need to keep in mind that this could drop any second.
Yeah, so we could take a look at that. I'm going to bring that up on. Let's do another track on the cell in Benton County. I know people are wondering about that. We're focused on this. Let's make sure that Benton County circulation doesn't ramp back up too. But boy, look at that lightning that's on the increase. So let's go ahead. Here's what we'll do. We'll keep that camera located on Lincoln, because you'll see it is approaching Lincoln. But here's a look at, we've got some spotters too. Rex Wren, Michael Craddock, he might be streaming. We'll check that out. There's Josh Rugger driving south. Look at all that lightning. But right now, you're not seeing any type of tornadic activity with this line that's approaching Bentonville. But it's about to move into Bentonville, Bella Vista, and Rogers. Those are the areas that are going to be impacted as that line comes through. This is severe thunderstorm warned with the tornado possible tag. Let's just take a quick look at the velocity image and see a little bit of a circulation right there just to the northwest of Heifel. But it's more of a sheer boundary. But that, we will have to watch this right here. You can see that kind of rotating a little bit stronger. This is the radar from SRX from Fort Smith. And we look at it from Tulsa. You can see how strong those winds are associated with this storm. So some pretty intense winds. And then we'll look finally one more at Springfield's radar. So we've got 3 radars that we can look at the velocity images and check out. We'll work our way back to the south. Again, the Springfield radar is too far south. There's the circulation that's showing up from SRX. This is the radar in Fort Smith or Barling. That's the circulation that's moving in. And let's go ahead and continue to watch that on Weather 3. So there's that base that's coming in. So right now, not seeing anything that's on the ground. It doesn't mean there isn't, kind of wrapped in the rain. but tornado warning in effect until 1:45, Zach, for southwestern Washington County. And again, those areas, Lincoln, Prairie Grove, Fayetteville, and Johnson and Springdale are not included in the tornado warning. They're a little bit to the north of the actual polygon. That's the polygon that we're concerned about. And you can see that does include West Fork if it continues on that easterly path. That line is just now approaching Lincoln. I want to bring that up with a large view of Weather 3. So there's a look at that. That is a very impressive shelf cloud, but probably even a little bit of a circulation associated with it on the leading edge, Zach. So we'll continue to watch that, monitor that, and tornado warning goes until 1:45. Let's see what some comments are, because we did a wide view. We're just going to keep an eye on this as this line comes into the Lincoln area. So maybe a little bit of a weakening of the circulation on the last images, huh?
I do think it is weakening, but these storms, they weaken, they strengthen back up, so we can't let the guard down just quite yet. Still, I really think that if you were in this polygon, you need to be in your safe place right now. This is a tornado warning. I do have the latest track on Weather 1.
Yeah, let's go to that.
We can show you that real quick here. There it is. So the Lincoln area, I do want to move this actually a little bit more to the east, and we can see Lincoln about 7 minutes, give or take. The storm is moving east at around 50 miles per hour. Lincoln Middle School around 1:37 in the morning. Bobcat Lake around 1:41. Prairie Grove 1:44. And Hawkeye 1:48 a.m. West Fork around 1:53. Drake Field around 1:54. That's where that storm is. And all along this line that does extend all the way up from Benton County down into Adair County, this is a severe storm warning with a tornado possible. And we're looking at the tornado warning that does include portions of Adair and Washington County in effect through 1:45. So about 15 more minutes. And looking at the very latest, we can see the velocity right there. Circulation doesn't really look all that tight anymore, Dan.
Yeah, it has weakened a little bit. So that's, but thanks for that track, Zach, as we continue to watch that moving across the southern portion of Washington County. Been seeing a lot of comments on Facebook and wondering about individual towns. Let's go to Weather 2 and let's put some people's minds at ease. So Siloam Springs, the storm is over you. It is loud. There's probably a lot of lightning and thunder, but the severe weather threat is starting to wind down once that storm comes through. Gentry, Gravette, Decatur, you're done. That storm has already come through. You can see that the line has moved east once that initial edge of the line and a little bit beyond that, because that circulation does ramp up on the western side of the heaviest reflectivity. You're done there. So Sulphur Springs, no more severe weather threat. Bentonville, the line is approaching you, but this storm is not quite as intense. In fact, we can look at it from let's go check out Boonville Elementary. Obviously, everything's really quiet in the River Valley. That probably won't be the case, though. Here's Bentonville Fulbright Junior High. We'll be able to see this line approaching. In fact, you can see the squall line. It's not quite as impressive. The shelf cloud is not as well-defined. That just shows you the storm is not as intense, but it'll still have some gusty winds associated with it. Going back to our radar, we work our way south. XNA, Siloam Springs, you're done with the severe weather threat. But I-49, you want to keep watching, and especially south of Fayetteville, I-49. You'll notice, though, the line, when it runs to the northwest, northeast to southwest, that is not as favorable for that tornado potential. Because if we go back in time, you'll see when this line was running a little bit more east to northwest to southeast. See how that line ran a little bit more northwest to southeast? That's in line with the shear that allowed that tornado potential. And then here you got it where it still was confirmed earlier, and that was at 107. We work our way back, and you can see that rotation that ramped up to a little bit before 1250 and then became confirmed. So definitely some strong storms producing tornado damage. We know that. And then it continued. I don't know if it remained on the ground into Adair County. That remains to be seen. But there's that circulation that was still ramping up. This tornado warning now only includes Washington County, as they have just updated it. they continue with the warning. As we take a look at the warning information, we'll bring that up from our radar, and you'll see tornado warning goes until 1:45 in the morning. So Lincoln, Prairie Grove, West Fork included in this storm. Now, we haven't looked at the camera in a little while. Let's check that out as we bring up our Lincoln Weather Bug Network camera. Hopefully we still got it. Wow, look at that shelf cloud rolling in. Man, look at how fast that's going. And you can also see the circulation associated with it. So you got rain curtains that are moving from south to north, and now you can see a little bit of that rotation. We'll see if anything starts rotating a little bit more. Yeah, Zach, that's pretty menacing. You need to be in your safe place if you live in Lincoln.
Yeah.
That looks like we just had some power flickers right there from that wind coming in. I just saw those lights kind of blink. So we'll continue to watch that. This is going to be our best view of the storm as it comes in. I feel like this is deja vu. There's just been so many of these this year. Some are in the daytime. Most of them have been at night and late night. Look at the rotating rain curtains. You can see the rain moving in one direction in the foreground from left to right. And then at the same time, you can see the rain moving from right to left in the background. So that is a little bit of a circulation, what we call a mesocyclone, if you will. We'll see if we see any type of power flashes at all as that storm comes overhead. Remember, the wind and the rain is really going to pick up as that line moves overhead. And that circulation is right over Lincoln right now, Zach.
Yeah, and just looking at base velocity, those winds are really strong.
Yeah. It's always a good idea to kind of check out base velocity. I'm going to move the camera around because now we aren't getting a view of it anymore. So I'm going to take the camera, I'm going to move it around to the south. And then I'll move it around to the east, and we'll see if we can see anything. And there's the base of the storm. So you can see the base of the storm lit up by the lights. Then you get underneath what's called the whale's mouth. And so the cell is not as intense in Benton County. If you're watching, we already told you some areas that you don't have to worry about anymore. You can see Josh Rugger on the left-hand side. He's coming into work here, and he's going to be getting here before this line hits Fayetteville. But some really heavy rain. It's not going to last super long, but there will be continued stratiform rain behind that we'll be watching. But you can really see those winds picking up on that Lincoln WeatherBug Network camera. And you definitely could see those rotating rain curtains as that line came through. You saw how fast, too, that line, as it did move in, just how rapid that developed. We'll take a look here at Posey Mountain. I'm going to get back to a wide view here. We'll take a look at Posey Mountain because that's going to have a good view of this cell as it approaches from the southwest. All right. Spin that camera around, see if we can see anything as it approaches. You can see the low-level shear, though. It's not weak. Severe thunderstorm watch officially goes until 4 o'clock in the morning. I think we're going to be done with that severe weather threat a lot sooner than that. All right, Zach, let's do another track on this. You've got that on Weather 1. Take us through the track here as we're watching.
All right, Weather 1, I got a track at the most dangerous point of the storm here. So right by Lincoln, that's really where the circulation is. And this storm is moving east at around 50 miles per hour. This tornado warning is for Washington County, and it will go until 1:45. So around 7 more minutes with this warning. Lincoln Middle School, pretty much right now, is where the circulation is. Hawkeye 148, West Fork 153, Hicks area 203, and then the Elkins area around 206. And that's the movement of the storm is slowed down a little bit. It was going around 65 miles per hour. Now it's going 50 miles per hour. And we're watching not only this section of the line, but all up and down this line. The wind shear is there, and that severe storm warning that is for Washington and Benton County is a tornado possible. And we're watching that too. But the part that has the strongest circulation is that red polygon. That's a tornado warning, and you need to be in your safe place with this one. The Lincoln area is being affected right now, and then we got Hawkeye, West Fork around 153 for West Fork, Hawkeye 148, Hicks 203 in the morning for this tornado warning. Around 6 more minutes left on this warning. And I do want to zoom in hyper local here because I was kind of zoomed out. So now we've got the area just to the west of Prairie Grove. That's really where we have to watch for this circulation. And it looks pretty broad. It doesn't look as tight as it was a little bit earlier in the evening. And that's good. So that means that it might be on a weakening trend, but we've seen these weaken, we've seen them strengthen, and we're not going to let the guard down just yet. Prairie Grove, you need to be in your safe place right now. Greenland, you need to be in your safe place as well. The West Fork area, and we can zoom in. That area where the green meets the red, it is broad, but there is some wind shear in the atmosphere here. And we really have to keep a close eye on it. But I think they might expire this warning if it keeps on this downtrend here with the circulation.
We've been seeing some comments on NWS chat, including the University of Arkansas, wondering if this tornado warning is headed towards them. This is going to be south of the University of Arkansas.
Yep.
It's going to be south of Fayetteville if it does, in fact, touch down. Unless it changes its course. But right now it's moving towards Prairie Grove and Greenland once again. So that circulation will be south of the University of Arkansas and south of really Fayetteville, to be honest with you. It might be close to Drake Field, though, which is on the south side of Fayetteville, close to Greenland. So here you see on Mega Doppler, we've got the rotation. You can see how it's still kind of weak rotation. It shows up, but it's not as strong. We might want to switch radars too on Mega Doppler as it gets a little bit closer to
go to SRX.
Yeah, we're going to go to SRX. In the meantime, let's go ahead and we'll go to Weather 2. We'll take a look at this tornado warning. Let's go to Weather 2 if we can here. Here's a look at the tornado warning that's still in effect, like we said, till 1:45. So, Zach, this is only about 4 more minutes if it continues. We do have several cameras that we're watching, but, yeah, that track of the cell going to be along Highway 62. Here you see Fayetteville outside of the tornado warning polygon. Farmington as well. Springdale not even close, but that's the most dangerous portion of the storm. You will notice, too, this cell is kind of weakened a little bit as it made its way east. In fact, here's a 1-hour radar loop, and you can see how those colors are starting to get less red and starting to get less purple. And that shows you that the amount of energy is starting to lose and the storm's starting to weaken. And so maybe that tornado warning won't continue. Also, I'm noticing too, this green area, that is an outflow boundary. And the outflow boundary means that anything south of that tornado warning storm, that is all cold pool dominant, meaning the cold pool, that rain-cooled air is rushing out ahead. It's choking off the inflow of the storm, and therefore there won't be any tornado potential in the river valley with that outflow boundary. So this is all cold pool dominant. The most dangerous portion of the storm still at the moment is with that tornado warning, but that's about to expire here very soon as we are at 1:42 in the morning. Severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible that continues over Benton and Washington County. We'll see how long that goes for. That's going to go until 1:45 as well. So we're about to lose a lot of warnings here in the weather coverage area. And if that is the case, we will break off of television. We'll continue streaming online, also on 479 First, our new streaming channel on Roku, as well as Apple TV and Amazon Fire Stick. So you can get that if you have a TV, download 479 FIRST. That is our streaming channel, and you'll be able to watch our live stream as well. Also, YouTube, Mr. Weather Dan is my handle. That's streaming that coverage. Also, X, we're streaming it on that platform. And, of course, Facebook Live and on knwa.com. So we got you covered any way you want to watch the stream. But we'll see if this tornado warning starts to drop off, and I think it will. So we're about to see an end to the severe weather threat for central and western Benton County, central and western Washington County. But we still have a little ways to go as we'll watch this storm moving in from our Mount Sequoia Weather Bug Network camera. And there's that shelf cloud that's associated with the storm. And remember, as that comes in, that's when the winds start picking up. That's when the rain picks up. Also when the lightning starts to happen. And anywhere along that leading edge, you can get that rotation that happens. You saw those rotating rain curtains. They weren't super rapid, but it looks like maybe that rotation is ramping back up, Zach. Again.
Well, it's a different radar.
Okay.
So it's a little bit lower in the
beam is a little lower. Yeah.
And we can see
south of Prairie Grove. So guess what? Lincoln will have a view to that looking to the east if it's not rain wrapped.
So that green area, that's the area of the strongest rotation. That's really where we have to watch. So just south of Prairie Grove is where that rotation is. And this is moving east at around 50 miles per hour. So Greenland, West Fork, you are under a tornado warning and you need to be in your safe place right now. This current warning will expire at 1:45. We are going to have to see if they do extend that. Latest scan, we can see that rotation has shifted a bit east and it might be a bit broader. I think it is broader, so a bit weaker, but still the West Fork area, that's where it's going. And here's the storm relative velocity showing it does look a lot weaker than it did before, and there it goes. No more warning for that storm, and actually no more severe storm warning either.
I want to hang, both of those are dropping off. I just want to wait just a little bit because that rotation did show that it was starting to increase in intensity a little bit. Mm-hmm. And we've got that Weather Bug Network camera. We'll watch it coming over Mount Sequoia. So let's go ahead if we can, and we'll bring that up here. We've got that on weather too. So here comes the shelf cloud that's associated with the cell. You can see the city lights of Fayetteville. We're on Mount Sequoia. We're looking west, and that's the line that's coming in. So the circulation, too, also a little bit south of that, Zach, that we won't have a view of. But we do have that from our Kessler Mountain Weather Bug Network camera. Not the best view. We'll probably be shrouded in rain. We'll see if we can see anything associated with that. So I got that camera pointed due south to look at that circulation, and you can see those rain curtains. Also, the signals starting to get a little choppy as well, a little bit on the slower end. But we'll watch that again, that line come through. Yeah, so warnings have expired. We'll see if that tornado warning ramps up. It looks like maybe a little bit outflow dominant. Look at how fast. It's really wild how quick those shelf clouds roll in when they do.
Yeah.
So let's just watch that here for a little bit. You'll see the winds start to pick up in Fayetteville. We'll stay on this just a little bit longer. I mean, it's 1:46 in the morning. A lot of people wondering what's going on. They probably heard their weather radios going off. They probably had their app services going off. If you had Weather Call Next Gen and you lived in Fayetteville, you probably didn't get a call. I didn't get a call because we're not in the warning officially with that polygon. But there's the shelf cloud rolling in. You'll see the winds start to pick up. So I think that line is definitely weakened.
Oh, yeah. And before I got in, I was looking at the computer models, and they were really showing the line weakened once it hit Benton, Washington County. And that seems to be what it's doing.
But it stayed together just a little bit, as it crossed the state line. So we'll continue to watch it. Also, too, on Megadoppler, you can see the two confirmed tornadoes from the tornado debris signatures. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at that on weather. Yeah, let's go to Weather 1 if we can. So Weather 1, we're going to take a look here at Megadoppler. And, Zach, you roll over those tornado reports that were in Cherokee County. So tornado debris signature that was detected, that was just about 1 a.m. And then tornado debris signature that was detected, and that was a little before 1 a.m. That was at 12:48 a.m. Mm-hmm. So two areas where tornadoes rapidly did touch down. But that cell line is starting to weaken. Winds are picking up a little bit. And I think we're going to be able to drop off of this weather coverage one more radar scan to make sure that this rotation doesn't ramp up at all. So we'll take a look here and we'll see what it's got as we bring that up full. Yeah, I see a little bit still on the leading edge. I still want to watch that and see if that can ramp up, but and increase in intensity and start to tighten up. But it doesn't look like it's doing that yet. I just still don't want to let down my guard, especially with Greenland, being impacted on May 19th.
It doesn't quite have that QLCS look though anymore.
No. But you got to watch out for those cells, those southern tips of the cells
Yep.
as it approaches Greenland. Still, we'll see if that circulation does happen because it's right here that you're looking at. And I've seen that before. Even though it doesn't look super impressive, it's right on the southern tip of that cell. Let's go ahead and we'll look at the velocity signature. And there it is. So the circulation just to the northwest of West Fork. It's not super intense, and it hasn't prompted tornado warning potential. If we look at the rotation, the normalized rotation and the rotation indication, it basically shows just to the west of West Fork. That might be something to watch, Zach. We'll see if it increases intensity. I mean, this is I-49 right here. If you're in the control room, producer, let's bring up an I-49 camera as that circulation about crosses very close to West Fork. If we can bring something up, there will be several I-49 cameras from iDrive, and so you can bring that up on the Prod PC. Yeah, wind is coming down now in Fayetteville, and the rain is coming down. All right, let's go ahead and we'll bring up the Greenland exit if we can. So here's Greenland. This is looking northbound. That cell is coming in from the southwest. So when you're looking north, that's not helpful because the circulation is the other way. So a lot of times these cameras are facing the wrong direction. Work our way south, Pitkin Corner, and there you can see just not a whole lot to be seen, but all right. Zach, one last radar scan, and then we're going to drop off the coverage here. Yeah, I think we'll wait until that crosses I-49, just because the type of environment that we're in, but it does look like the line has definitely weakened. So that's good news.
Yep, there's normalized rotation right there. That green area, that's the area that we have been watching and going right towards West Fork. This part of the line has had a history of producing confirmed tornadoes, so we really need to watch it.
Yeah, that's why we're staying on, even though it's not an official tornado warning. Stay on just a little longer, but it's right on that southern tip of the line. So while we're waiting for a new radar scan to come out, and we'll see if it strengthens up, let's go ahead and we'll take a quick recap of everything, and we'll do a wide view. So let's go to weather 2 if we can. We'll keep an eye on that, Zach. Let us know when we have the new radar scan. Northwest Arkansas and southwest Missouri areas that are done. I-49 from Pineville and Cassville. Storm hasn't quite approached you, but Goodman, Anderson, those are all areas. Jane, Missouri, storm's done. Bella Vista, it's done, but we had a loss of power. Our Bella Vista Weather Bug Network camera at Cooper Elementary went out. Pea Ridge, you're done with the storm. The leading edge of the line is done for. And Bentonville, Rogers, you're done. Centerton, good night, go to bed, or good morning, should I say. Decatur, XNA, Siloam Springs, Springdale, the storm's right over you, but that's not even severe anymore. And just along that southern edge of the line, we'll have to watch that area right there as it approaches Greenland, see if anything ramps up. As of now, everything seems to be weakening. And then this right here is an outflow boundary. So that means all of these storms will be undercut with cold air. So those will weaken as well. And then we're just transitioning to a heavy rain threat. And if we look and we put this into motion, we'll see if this is kind of traveling east-southeast. So heavy rain is going to be likely in the river valley, and that could lead to some significant flash flooding. Do we have that new radar scan, Zach?
Yes, we do.
Okay. And concerning?
Circulation south of West Fork has weakened, but as we can see along this line,
go to weather 1.
There are a lot of areas of rotation.
Yeah.
North of West Fork, west of Brentwood, but nothing prompting any warnings at this time.
All right, so I'll tell you what, we're going to drop off of our television coverage. We will continue to stream on knwa.com, 479 First, our streaming channel, as well as Facebook, X, YouTube. You got it. But keep it here with your weather authority for the latest weather information. We'll watch these storms. If something starts to prompt a new tornado warning, we'll break back in on TV. Keep it here with your weather authority for the latest severe weather information.
All right, well, we're still tracking the storms,
Yeah.
but
I think it's starting to die out.
I think it's starting
you
to
can see,
weaken.
you can see it's
Yeah.
getting outflow dominance.
Yeah, here's the wide view. We got Washington County. Really nothing of concern at this at this second, but that could change.
And that's parallel to the line too. And that's 3,000 feet though.
Yeah.
So we'll see here. Right along I-49.
Shelf cloud went right over me. I was up on the parking garage.
Yeah.
Went over me and I saw the lowering near Greenland.
Yeah.
I was passing to the south.
Anything?
Pretty good lowering.
Yeah, I know. That's what we were saying
yeah.
too.
But it's becoming outflow dominant. You can tell.
Yeah.
Which hopefully that continues.
Stick around until they
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick around just a little bit.
Yes.
See, that's what I was saying before too. I knew that you couldn't, if left couldn't leave quite yet.
What did we say over lunch yesterday, Dan? That the instability was so high that we would not be able to let our guard down.
Yep.
All bets are off this time of year.
Well, and the severe thunderstorm watch came out, so
Yeah.
that's a kiss of death.
The kiss
right
of death.
there.
The guaranteed tornadoes.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Tornado watch?
Not
It's
as
a little
much.
bit up in the air.
Severe thunderstorm watch. Yep.
Yeah.
We had rotating rain curtains in Lincoln on the camera as it came through, but it wasn't rapid.
It's kind of slow.
The green dot is right over our
Yes.
house, so let's go back to that green dot and take a look here. Now that green dot is east of your house, but still something to. Boy, that area again. Can we stop with the storm season? Oh my goodness. Now we got heavy rain potential.
A lot of flood warnings, flood issues.
Yeah, flood warnings from the river. This is
Yeah.
going to increase the Arkansas River even more.
Of course.
Yep, going back to bed. Understand that power is out in Pea Ridge too. How strong were the winds when you got the shelf cloud?
Not too bad.
Yeah,
In Fayetteville,
40?
It's about 40, I would say. Definitely much weaker.
Grand Dog is going crazy in Prairie Creek. All right. 479 first isn't showing any live feed.
What?
Yeah.
I think we might be. We should probably mention that storm up there in McDonald County.
Southwest Missouri.
Yeah.
Power is out on the west side of Bella Vista. Centerton, you're done. Good night. Finished. Update for Prairie Grove, you're done too. Everything's basically done. Fayetteville, yes, you can go to sleep. You will hear some rumbles of thunder. No more risks of tornado warnings for our area. But yeah, like you said, we got to mention it doesn't look very impressive. We'll switch radars here from Springfield real fast. And we'll take a look. So stand by.
Bad spot.
Yeah, that might not be. It could be translation of the winds, but seems pretty weak.
I don't know if that will be extended.
No,
Nope.
I think this is pretty weak.
Yeah, looking at the wind shear, the orientation of this line really isn't concerning.
Nope. But it was when it ran northwest to southeast.
Yeah.
Which is
Classic.
when a tornado.
This time of year, that's classic.
Yep.
Happened so quick.
Yeah.
It
No
really did. I
Yeah.
was looking at it. I was like, it's weak. Looked at it 20 minutes later. I was like, that's going warm. And then it did.
Yeah.
And then good thing I was in my suit. I was just like chilling in
Were
my
ya?
apartment.
You're already
It's
ready
like-
to go.
Yeah.
You know, it's
That was
funny.
the weakest severe thunderstorm warning ever issued. I don't know where you're at, Heath, but if you're talking about
Maybe he's talking about that.
Yeah.
One right there, because that
yeah, that That's like a shower.
I
Yeah,
tend
I mean,
to agree. I think.
The reason why I called it out is because that's the considerable tag,
But here's the thing, like
it looks,
those winds are pretty strong aloft, but I think there's some range folding going on here.
and that's
with the
really
radar.
high up. So
Yeah.
Look at that stratiform rain.
Gone.
Look at that
Model's
gone.
terrible
There it
with
is.
that. Oh, Dan, you gotta know, man, stop.
Oh my goodness, a lot of comments.
Dan, you gotta know the lightning was 0.02 miles from my location. Needs no notification. I felt it.
Lightning has been detected near your location.
Yeah, right. Lightning has been detected near your hair.
Yes.
Fayetteville is in the clear.
Indeed.
Yep. So here, and you can see the leading edge of the line, it's done. No more a shear boundary, but that's it. 62 miles per hour winds.
That's a good point by Liz. War Eagle is in session now for the summer.
Okay, now what's going on with next gen here? Why is that? Stop it. I'm trying to click on a comment and it doesn't bring it up. Okay, so you might need to get on your next gen and change your settings. You have to tell me what kind of settings you're talking about.
Maybe they're responding to another comment.
Went over my video and there was 4 or so power flashes looking north. Makes sense, Mason, because that would be where the power lines, where the power outages were reported. But I think it was more straight line winds than anything. So Huntsville, not done, but the line is not as intense. But here's a look at Huntsville. That's looking the wrong way. So let me go ahead and look the right way as we move the camera to the west. There you go. It's amazing what the view looks like when you switch the camera view.
yeah.
And you can even see how the line is detached. Power out in Avoca. This is the last line. You won't get any more severe after this. Very intense rain in Winslow right now. I believe that. So Camp War Eagle. Camp War Eagle doesn't have a severe thunderstorm warning anymore. That's weekend. And the main part of the line right now is moving over Camp War Eagle. You watching that base, Zach, on that. Let me bring this up real quick. So there's a look at War Eagle. The storm's already come through, and there was no circulation at all that prompted any type of tornado potential. And so the cell is over right now, and it's dumping heavy rain, and it's definitely probably a little intense. But the main threat will be over here in about 20, 30 minutes at the most. River Valley will get some rain and storms, but we're going to switch back to the radar, to the right one, Fort Smith. And in the meantime, Zach, you're looking at that, and you got the line coming in from Huntsville. Nope, this is going to be it. We will not get another line.
But it will rain.
We still got power out in Rogers. Could I give the timing for the Alma area? That's a good question. Let's go ahead and we'll do that. Fort Smith. It will rain, but I'll tell you this. We mentioned it before. We've got basically this line that's coming in is cold pool dominant. So I don't expect any more tornado warnings. I don't expect any more tornado warnings, Zach.
No, not unless this line makes a dramatic change in its orientation, which I don't think is going to happen.
Nope.
You know what model did pretty good? Before I came in, I looked at the NAM.
Yeah.
And it really showed it kind of doing this.
Hey, how about that? Still remembers every time I visited his elementary school.
Nice.
Cool. And now he's on Facebook Live.
All right.
Yep. Safe to go back to bed. You got it. It's safe. Now it might be a little noisy, but then it'll be done. Oh, Camp War Eagle has 2 underground bunkers if needed. Now that's clutch right there. There won't. I don't know who's saying a 530 sell. If that's the computer models, that's wrong because that won't happen. You don't have to worry about that anymore. There won't be another line. I mean, look, we'll zoom out here, Zach, and you can show them. That's it. The instability is sapped. Put it into motion. Loop it. You could see that we'll get some rain. You'll still have some rumbles of thunder. You'll still have some lightning, but that's it. Do we want to go ahead and track this line, Zach, as it comes into Madison County, Carroll County, Boone, and Newton County?
What do you think, like 45, 50?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'd go 50 just to give people a little bit of a heads up. So we're going to do more of a linear track on this. And that linear track will have a better idea on some of the wider areas. So this is for you, Michaela. As we track it kind of east, I'd go a little east-northeast. There you go. Yep. It's kind of moving a little. The individual cells are moving east-northeast. Yeah. But there you go. That'll give you some ideas. Huntsville approaching at 2:18. So just about 10 minutes away, which makes sense because we can see that WeatherBug network camera from Huntsville. And it about looks like it's about little more than 10 minutes away. Going back to that track, moving towards Kingston at 2:36. Harrison, 2:59. Diamond City, 3:07. Batavia, 2:50 a.m. Dodge City, 3:18. Dodge City. So what about Razorback City? Here's my question, Josh. Did you watch the whole game?
I did indeed. Yes, of course. Of course. Of course I did. Yes.
What time did it end?
Around 10 p.m. Yeah.
What time did you get to sleep?
Around 10:30.
What time did you wake up?
Around 12:30.
2 hours.
Yes, that's enough. That's fine. Hey, I did sleep in a little bit after I got done with my homework too, before the game started. So I cheated.
All right. Cool deal.
But I'm doing it like Al. No, barely any coffee, which I don't even drink that anyway. But it's kind of crazy how he only drinks like 1 cup. He says he just needs 1 cup, and I'm good.
Is that it?
Very little caffeine.
Is this why people are saying 5:30? The Weather Channel Future Radar? Not again.
Not again. No.
No.
By the way, about 4,000. This is probably going to get updated, but about 4,000 without power in Benton County.
Yeah.
And that might be the early estimates. So I'm sure there might be more coming in.
Lost power in Goshen too.
Yeah, here we go.
Several people losing power.
We'll keep
A rude awakening.
Yeah.
Oh, what this?
Yeah, it's the HRRR.
Trash.
Is this the extended though, or the
Nope.
newest one?
Short
No,
range.
don't believe that. Don't
Trash.
buy that. Don't think that's right. Nope.
Oh, now 7,000 without power in Benton County.
Go to our precipitation chances, and you're going to see there was no line coming through after 5 a.m. Go to it real quick. The pop. Yeah.
Oh, hey, pull up that Huntsville camera.
Yeah.
Get the shelf quad rolling in right
Yep.
now on the Huntsville
We
camera.
will.
It's a cool view.
Just going to show this. We got 80% for rain,
Mhm.
but no additional line coming in, and then the rain drops off. Not complete. I'm not sold on that 60% in the afternoon. I did go rain on weather rate from 7 a.m. noon to 6. I didn't go 6 to 10 though.
Basically because that boundary is going to be.
Oh, did I? I think I might have went 6 to 10, honestly. Yeah, I think I did. Because I thought it was just going to be all day.
Stratiform rain.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yep. Moderate? No. I'm going to moderate it? No. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised. I hope that slight risk is out of here because it shouldn't be in us
Yeah,
right now.
I would agree.
Let's see. Ooh, this computer is running slow.
I know. It's been working just as hard as us
Yeah.
during severe weather season.
Let's see here.
How about them apples? Yeah. Audible sigh.
That's going to be dropped.
There's like a big 2% tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be dropped. Yep. No line coming in at 5 o'clock. That's because you're looking at the HRRR. All right. So you want to see that line coming in on Huntsville's?
Yeah.
See the shelf cloud rolling in? Yeah. Nothing bad. Not even severe. Just totally fell apart. River Valley, there's not even anything to track. I mean, you will get some storms, but
And there's a cold pool dominant.
it's big time cold pool dominant. In fact, you can see the outflow boundary.
It's just like a cluster of storms.
Surging south. That's not even going to do anything.
It's just like a cluster.
Oh, that was a good view of the shelf. There, let's watch it.
That lightning's still pretty prevalent.
Not as much as it was earlier when it was approaching Lincoln.
I bet it was just a crazy lightning show.
All right, I'm going to bed. Sounds good. I'll be going to bed soon too myself. Rogers is done. Yes. Now you might get a rumble of thunder from stratiform lightning, but it's not anything severe. Oh, that's nice view of the base.
Is this a recording?
No, I don't have that. It's okay. That line's not great. Yeah. But I do want to go back to. I do want to go to that Lincoln camera because I want to show you. You can really see the rotating rain curtain. So let's go back into. There you go.
Oh yeah.
So there we go. Let's speed that up times 2. Zach, do recorded stream real quick.
It's that beautiful shelf.
Yeah. Yeah, we recovered. It kind of stunk, but yeah, we recovered from the lightning strike.
And you said the electronics were spared.
Yeah.
Yes.
We thought the TV was bad. It wasn't, thankfully. Yeah, Weather 3 recorded. All right, so this is earlier, but here you can see the shelf cloud rolling in. However, when we get a little closer to it, you'll be able to see the wind shear. Right.
Whoa.
Here. Yeah, watch this.
Yeah.
See that right there?
I do see that. That's the first thing I noticed.
That little bit. See, that's what happens with QLCS tornadoes. Just that little bit right there.
You can see
you can see the rotation. Yeah, that's sped up. That's 2 times. This was earlier. This is previously recorded. But watch this as it comes in.
Wow.
And you're going to see these rotating rain curtains here.
Oh, I see them.
Yeah.
Wow, that is cool.
So you see that, but then watch the other ones. Look at the other clouds moving the other way.
Yeah. Oh, here it is right there.
Yeah.
Ragged. Oh, little power flicker there.
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
Very strong winds.
So what time was that? That was 1:34 in the morning.
What was the lightning strike that they were talking about?
Oh, there's been a lot of them.
I thought like one of our cameras got hit.
Oh, I hope not.
Wow, look at that thing roll in.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Man.
You can see those curtains. Look at the rain on the left-hand side moving the opposite direction. You see that?
It's really cool.
That's cool.
From a chasing perspective, I'd just be outside going,
yeah,
take me.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
And then we had to flip the camera around. So,
yes.
Anyways.
What a shot.
That was fun to see.
Yes. You can still see them moving across the screen.
So it's getting a little windy in Huntsville. Let's go back to that shelf cloud rolling in now. You can see it. Stop that. Go back to Huntsville camera. Oh yeah, here it comes overhead. Nope, no more tornadoes coming anywhere. I just peeked outside and see my plant 40 feet away. Man,
Another really cool lightning strike there.
yeah, there's a look at the. See, that's the shelf cloud.
Right on top of the camera.
Yep. Pretty weak though.
Yeah.
That shows you. So loud by Beaver Lake. Centerton all clear. Yep. Pretty much everybody's clear.
Yeah.
Watch it closely, but
Just going to be loud, rainy.
this line is pretty much done with.
I will say there could be some flooding potential this morning, especially along this.
Yeah, along that area. Yeah.
That's training thunderstorms right there.
See if we can see anything on Posey. Yeah, it's just a huge rain curtain. Oh yeah, Fayetteville, Goshen, all clear.
Bedtime.
I'm in Huntsville. It's very windy. That makes sense because there's the shelf cloud rolling in. Man, so winds took a 12-inch diameter oak in East Bella Vista. Yeah, we're definitely considered part of Tornado Alley. We've always have been.
What's up? You out? Yeah. See you, bro.
Thank you, Anderson. Appreciate it. Hey, Anderson, come here.
Oh, I don't need.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
you do.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
there he is, right
Screen
there.
time.
Anderson, our director.
Stay safe,
He's the one
guys.
switching different sources and stuff like that. So appreciate it.
Bonus
Tell
time.
Anderson.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Yep.
you.
Yes, sir.
He had to stay. It's not just us
Take it
putting
easy,
in the
bro.
grind. It's them as well. What did you think of meeting Al Roker?
I
That was-
mean, dude,
That was pretty cool.
that
huh?
was one of the coolest things I've ever done. That's for sure. And it's crazy because you've probably already mentioned this, but I mean, this guy could talk for hours
Yeah.
with you about anything.
Yeah.
It's like just so cool. It was cool getting to talk to him too about like similar interests as well. Like he really likes theme parks. He was talking about Epic Universe.
Yeah, I know.
where they went.
Exactly. Yeah.
He was talking about the toothless meet and greet, which I'm really excited to do when I go down to Epic Universe. But like, I bet he could talk about theme parks for hours.
Because I asked
Yes.
him about it. I was
Yeah.
like, "You were at Epic Universe," and I knew that Josh was salivating.
Yeah,
to
I was
hear
like,
what he
oh
had to
yes,
say.
oh yes.
Yes, exactly.
Stardust Racers.
No wind shear in Huntsville. What was the Monsters experience? What is that called?
A Dark Universe.
Dark
So they've got
Universe, okay.
the dark ride there is Frankenstein, Monsters Unchained. and
Monsters
Frankenstein.
Unchained.
Yes,
That's it.
Yes,
yeah.
that's the Frankenstein experiment, and that's like a top of the line dark ride. Basically, it uses the same.
He said he didn't like it, or he said it was broken.
No, he said Curse of the Werewolf is broken. That's
Okay.
that's the roller coaster. That's more like a family spinning coaster.
Okay.
But Frankenstein's like the big attraction there. And then of course Stardust Racers, Airtime City.
Good question. We don't know. We won't know until August, I think.
September.
Is it
I think it's
September?
September.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little while.
That's a long while.
Yes.
We'll find out if we wasted our money. Here's a look at Mega Doppler, and there's the line coming through Huntsville. No shear at all associated with this.
That hit a little too close to home.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
We'll find out if we waste our money.
yeah, that's the truth.
Oh boy.
But anywhere along this line, this thing is weak. But it wasn't weak earlier. No siree. In fact, here's what I'm going to do, Zach. Yeah, that's not lasting until 4 a.m.
Nope.
Nope.
Get rid of that.
Take a look at this. We're going to go back. I'm going to go back 4 hours. These definitely had TDSs.
Pretty big drop too with that correlation coefficient.
This purges out after a while. Let's see.
Just got it, I think.
Maybe. Yeah, I did. Okay. So here's the correlation coefficient drop. You see the time on the screen, and then there it is right there. Now, what's interesting is that's That is on the back side of 1252, right? So we're
Yes.
going to go to the reflectivity. See, this is what I don't like about you can't bounce back and forth without it changing the time.
Going all the way back to the current time.
Yeah. And what was that time?
12:52.
1252. Yep. And look, that is on the back side
Yeah, it
of
is.
the storm.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I know. So totally rain wrapped.
You would not be able to see that.
It's funny because on the live stream, I was mentioning how that part of the line is a little more dangerous. And sure enough,
Took off.
going back to that CC drop, you'll be able to see that right there.
Damn.
That's the CC drop because you could see that moving eastward, and then I think it lifted before it got to.
Which Bull Hollow got that tornado May 26th.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. Bull
Yep.
Hollow. I was
Yep.
like, oh, I remember that. And then the other one that ramped up was down here, and you could see that circulation was also on the backside of the storm.
Yeah, I called my buddy
Right.
that lives in Tahlequah. I told him to take cover. Went
Yeah.
to the north side of Tahlequah. He said there was very intense winds.
And then that circulation just kind of weakened. If we look at this and look at the velocity as that storm was coming overhead, let's see what we had here. Yeah, there it is. And there it is coming over Lincoln. And you can see that circulation. That's what we were visually seeing. Wow. All right, guys. That about does it. One last look at the radar. Doesn't even look like the winds are super strong in Huntsville.
I know.
either.
It just
But
looked
we
like a shower.
have 7,500 customers without power in Benton County and about 1,700 customers in Washington County.
And most of them are Carroll Electric in Benton County.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
So one last look. There's no reason to stay on these. There's no tornado potential. There's no severe weather potential. Storms are dying. It's just rain. A lot of lightning, though.
Mhm.
I think there's going to be problems in Omaha for tomorrow, weather-wise.
Which,
Yeah.
that's a shame. I mean, that's a big
What?
shame.
Who has to play in the rain?
Well,
Us,
us,
for one.
but also Rested Arms, Gagewood, Part 2.
Yeah.
I mean, Gackle. Maybe you could put Root out there for a few innings here and there if you get rain delays, or if you push games back.
I don't know. All right. You ready, Zach?
Gym time.
I think we're done.
Yeah. I'm going to bed. It's fine in War Eagle. Everything's good. So everything's done. Go to bed. Good night. Josh will be on it if something ramps up
Yeah.
unexpectedly, but
Be
it
stunned.
ain't happening. So God bless. Whoop Big Suey. Go Hogs. Right, Zach?
Yep.
Should we have him call the Hogs?
Can you call the Hogs, Zach? Ready?
Pig Suey! We're going to do it 3 times. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll just have them call the Hogs. As we continue to
Pig
go out.
Suey!
We got one more.
Pig Suey! Razorbacks!
Good night.